Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, The Lens India Professional Photography and the series of Mastering Lightroom CC. In this video, we'll be talking about the color grading, and this tab is available in the develop module. So if you don't have the updated version of the Lightroom, probably you'll see this tab as the split toning. So the working remains almost same, and rather probably in the upgraded version, this color grading has become much more simpler. So many a times photographer they would like to color grade their images with some creative visions, as well as they would like to add some hues, and they would like to also enhance some saturation to give some specific effect to the image based on their liking, and that is how this color grading tool is being used. So if you see this tool, you will have the adjust tab where you will see all three ways of doing the color grading, where you will see all the color wheels which are being shown here. So one is for the mid tones. So if you'll see that this is mid tones, and then this is the second wheel on the left is the for the shadows, and the third color wheel is for the adjusting hues of the highlights. Apart from this, you will also have separate wheels which are available. One is for the shadows, then next is for the midtones, then the third one is for the highlights, and the last one which is available is for the global. So let's try to understand the functionalities of all these features which are available over here. So we'll start with the three-way. So now we will try to do color grading with both the images, one for the color, one for the black and white. So let's start with the color first. So if we are on the this image, and if we want to adjust it for this particular color image, so you'll see that in the wheel you will find that there is one circle in the center, and you have liberty to basically drag this circle towards any of the direction on the image. So mainly the color theory what is being applied over here is the positive color theory as well as the negative color theory. So positive, when I say, it is RGB, that is red, green and blue, so which are the primary colors in the digital technology, and the secondary color is CMYK. So we can use the complementary color schemes to give the effect to the image. And above this color, you will see that when I try to adjust the circle, you will see that there are some values which are coming against H, S and L. So H indicates the hue, S indicates the saturation, and L indicates the luminance value. So the basic color grading, when you do, for example, if you want to do it to you want to give some warm effects, so the hue for the warm effect for the yellow color is 40. If you want to give it to blue, it is 240. So something like this, and you can find the values of this hue based on the color if you Google it out, and this value will change. And now when I'm at the extreme end of the circle, where my inner circle is touching on the periphery of this color grading circle, you'll see that H is 127 and the S is 100. What does that S100 mean? So S100 is nothing but the saturation. So I have reached the saturation limit. So if I want to desaturate it, I'll just drag this circle in towards the center of the circle. If I want to again go to the warmer colors, so I can go to hue as 40 or nearby 40, and if I try to adjust this color saturation, you will see that I can adjust the saturation of the color the way I want. Okay, so when I'm adjusting this particular circle, so it is overall impacting the midtones of this image. So now I'll just precisely try to adjust this to 40, and now if I drag this saturation, you can see that how the saturation will change. Okay, so and we also have a slider when you drag it towards the right side, so it will impact the image on the highlight side. If you try to drag it to the left side, so this color grading will impact to the darker shades of the image. And now suppose if you want to disable it for some time, then you can just press this icon over here, and this will get disabled. So you can see before and you can see the after one. Same way, now when I want to adjust the shadows, I can bring the shadows to the cool color, for example, and I'll try to adjust it to 240, which is the hue for the cool tones. And if I try to adjust the saturation, you will see that the saturation is going to change. Same way, if I try to adjust the slider which is available below the shadows, you can see that I can change the tones. And now suppose if I want to reduce the blue color, yellow color a little bit, I can reduce it. Now if I want to adjust the highlights, again I can bring the highlights again to the same shades, and I'll try to adjust this. So all these three colors will impact the highlights, midtones and shadows of the image. So below this you will also see that there are two more sliders, blending and balance. So when I'm using the blending sliders, if I drag it to the right hand side, it will adjust the blending towards the highlights. You will see that how the highlights are becoming dark. And if I try to adjust the slider to the left hand side, so you will see that the image is becoming darker as it is impacting to the darker side, as it is impacting the darker portion of the image. If I try to use the balance, you will see that when I'm using the balance, you will see that the highlights are getting impacted, and if I'm dragging it to the minus side, so you will see that the image is now applying the effects on the dark tones of the or the shadows of the particular image. So now I can do refine adjustments the way I want on the images, and probably if I don't like the earlier setting, I can still have the liberty to change the whatever the effect I want, and you'll just see how this has impacted, and you can create the overall color grading the effect way you want. So this is about the color image, how we can grade this image with different types of views. So one more image we will see when this color image, we would like to do this color grading on the black and white image. So before we start processing the color grading, we'll just make this image black and white. And again, now suppose if I make this image, I want to have a cooler tones, I can adjust the mid tones to cool. I can even adjust the shadows to the cooler tone. So once I adjust it to the cooler tone, I can again bring some highlights to the warmer tones and try to adjust the impact by the sliders. So you can see how the changes are getting implemented over here, right? So you can make it darker, you can make it brighter. So if I'm moving the blending slider towards right, the highlights are getting impacted. If I try to balance it out, see how the overall impact happens. And again, if you try to give it a little bit, so with this cooler tone, probably you will now see a very beautiful night view on this particular image. And again, once you do this, you can also work with along with the tone curves, whatever we have seen in the tone curves. So you can adjust the tone curves and you can still make the image look better as per your liking. So this is how we work with the black and white image. Now again, if you want to reset everything, you just have to press, you have to double click on this, this will get reset, or again you can press Alt and then you can reset all the sliders by pressing the double this particular tabs. This image will get reset. So this is how we can make it. Now suppose if you want to make work on the mid tones, so I'll just create this look or maybe this look the way I want to do it. So individually we can adjust the luminance. Also you can see when you open up this, when you explore this particular thing, you will see that the hue saturations are basically available here to adjust your mid tones. You can decrease or increase the saturation, you can adjust the luminance the way you want. So now once you adjust the shadows, you can come to again the mid-tones, and you can again change little bit the hue the way you want and adjust the look as per your taste. Then you can come to the highlights again, and then you can give the look whatever you feel that suits you or the image what you have in your mind, and you can do some artistic color gradation of the for the image. So this is how all these three individual color grading circles will work. And now suppose if I again want to reset it, I'll reset it again by double clicking on the labels of the circles. If I want to do it globally, you'll see that the overall effect I can do globally, and I can adjust the luminance, saturation globally. Now this will impact the overall image across all the highlights, shadows, and mid-tones. Now again, if you want to really work with any other tool, for example, say masking tool, I can again pick up the brush. I can do some adjustments over here, and I can still make the exposures dark or something like that the way I want. So along with the color grading tool, so we can work with any other tools what we have seen earlier in our videos. So that's it about the color grading tools. So in short, if you really ask me what is the use of this color grading, so you can color grade each and individual tones of these photograph which are there, whatever they are available in our photographs, and make the look and feel of the image totally different than what we usually have shot, and make it more creative. So that's all for the video now. Thank you so much, and bye for now.